Listen, the public expects us to control somebody. They don't expect us to beat them into submission. Right? That's not what they expect. Doesn't mean you're not going to punch somebody.
Say that again for the people that missed it.
The public expects us to be able to control a subject. They don't expect us to beat somebody into submission.
Yeah, which is what you see a lot in this police brutality stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times, even though they're right, we call it lawful but awful. It may be lawful what you did, but man, it looks really bad.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So...
And knowing these arts, that's very helpful in allowing them to use the right amount of force. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Without going overboard?
Yeah. So, again, I always tell everybody, again, when they stop resisting, we stop utilizing force, right? And ultimately, it's the subject who is going to make that decision for us, right? They're the one that is going to make the decision on whether or not we use force by their behavior, by what they say, by what they do, really is what directs us to utilize force. It should never be because of what we do. And even the courts now are starting to look closer at, well, what did you do pre-force? Right? Courts really look at the dynamic of what happens right at the time. Now they're starting to look at leading up to it. What did you do?
Interesting.
Did you I understand that person had a edged weapon, but did you put something between you and that? Did you know he had an edged weapon? Yeah, I did. Well, what did you do to mitigate that? Well, I placed my car between that suspect and me so that now it slows down his reaction time gives me more reaction time if he tries to attack me. He's got to go over or through the car or around the car. What did you do? What did you utilize to try to de-escalate the situation, right? Did you just show up and you're screaming commands at him, or did you actually try to bring the level of stress down by the way that you communicated with them? Or, there's all those different ways that we look at de-escalation. And quite frankly, sometimes de-escalation is the immediate use of force.
Yeah.
Before you can
sometimes there is no reaction time.
There is no reaction. It's going to be, I'm going to immediately use force because I see exactly where this is going.
Yeah.
We recently had a situation like that, right?
Really?
Where a guy...
Can you speak to it?
There's a guy who's drunk and he's causing problems, and our officer gets there, and then the guy says, I've got a gun, and starts to reach behind. Our officer immediately hits him right in the nose and drops him and gets on top of him and controls him, and sure enough, the guy's got a gun in his waistband, right? Well, were you going to be able to de-escalate that situation? He just did. By striking him. Yeah. Right? He de-escalated the situation. And
if he would have waited, it would have turned into... It could have turned into a shooting. It could have turned into with people around. Yeah. So the officer absolutely did what he needed to do to control that situation immediately. Oh my gosh.
And what you see is people don't understand that because they don't live in this world, right?
Right.
They live in the world of YouTube and people narrating what they should think.
Yeah, and somebody clipped that and showed the very end where it was, they didn't say anything, got hit in the face.
Right, exactly.
So, well, you didn't see them say, I'm going to reach for my gun.
Exactly.
So these are like really quick, split-second decisions.
Absolutely. And that's what the courts have said.
Most people make decisions in their life, and it takes them forever to make any decision about anything. It's my pet peeve. I'm like, let's take immediate action. Let's quit talking about it. Let's go do something. I have my own set of problems. Don't worry.
Me too.
But that's not one of them, right? I'm like ready, fire, aim, in the real world. But when it comes to making split-second decisions, is this just in good cops, or do you have to train that into them? How does that work?
We train it. Yeah, we train it. We do a lot of scenario-based training. And so we put them in a lot of, right? You have a little Rolodex in there. It may not be the exact same situation, but you've at least seen something similar. And so now you know how to react or gives you a quicker reaction time. So we do a lot of scenario-based training. We used to not do a lot of that. I think really overall policing has gotten way better than when I got into it.
Oh, really? In what ways particularly?
Training is huge. Mindset is huge. When we got into it, there was always a scenario going through the academy. You never survived. Not one person I knew ever survived this. You got shot in this scenario every single time. So then we were rolling out police officers that every traffic stop could be a shooting. Well,
yeah, so you're coming into this thinking, I'm probably going to, you're on high alert that I'm probably going to get shot if I walk up to this car. Yeah. Which... I could see where they're going with that. It's be extra careful, but 99% of the time, that's not the situation.
Exactly. And I always tell everybody, you can be nice and still be dangerous. right? As a police officer, you can be the nicest guy, biggest grin on your face, and you can be the deadliest cop I know.
You can be nice and still be dangerous. That could be like a life mantra, honestly. Like you can be a kind individual, but you can still be sharp.
Yeah, you can turn it on when you need to turn it on, and you have to pay attention to all those things surrounding you, but you can't be so over the top that you think every person's going to kill you, because that absolutely is not it's just not the way of the world.
Right.
It's just not. And so we've got to be grounded in really what we're doing, right? We can be prepared. We can be all of those things. But man, you can still be nice to people. And a lot of times the way you talk to them, the way that you interact with them may completely de-escalate the situation you've had, and realize, man, we're dealing with people at their worst moments most of the time.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. People make mistakes. They do things that, and once in a while, it's okay to give somebody a break.
Like 95% of the time or 99% of the time, this person is going through, they're managing their stress, they're doing all this, and then they go to the bar, they have an influence, chemical influence on their brain, and they hit rock bottom for a moment, and then you show up.
Yep.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah.